All right, so here we are in game one of this best of three. Again, this is in the round of 16 of the Goblin Cluckfest 4. And this game is going to be played between oCRaM in our Blue Infernal and Percival. I can totally read Korean, and that definitely says Percival in the red Vanguard. Okay, I actually cannot read Korean at all. I have no idea what that says. So if you can read Korean, you might know better than I that that probably does not actually say Percival. We got a Hexen from oCRaM moving across the map, trying to see what's going on for his Vanguard opponent. This dog chasing him back, saying, "Get out of my business." Some overcharged bobs making their way down to the low ground. That's pretty much the universal signal to the Hexen that this is a fast expo build, a fast command post. I have seen one or two Vanguard do that, overcharge their units down and then go build some barracks down here for a rush. I thought that's kind of cool and fun. But once the Hexen's teleported away, that's a cool way to mislead your opponent. But no, this is going to be a fast expo build with a little bit of dog harass on these to try and steal some creeps or maybe get some damage onto the Hexen, if lucky, maybe even killing her. Great way to start out if you're a Vanguard. Super annoying to deal with if you're a Infernal. And interestingly, we actually have oCRaM moving right across the base. And there are two Imps going across the base here. And they said, oh, you're going to do your Fast Expo build? Well, how about a Shroud Stone right here to deal with? And now we have a Bobs versus Brutes and Hexen. Those Bobs take out that first. Well, we get a cancel on that Shroud Stone. There's another Shroud Stone down here. And wow, and now we have a sentry post up. Okay, no units out of the barracks yet to go into that sentry post. But we do have another Shroud Stone going down. So this is actually really good micro out of Percival so far. Wow, incredible. And that, I think that one Shroud Stone was not canceled. This one was. But this rush, I'm afraid, is over. Now that there is a Buzzsaw Cannon, yeah, this one is... That is a loss. And we have Brutes up just trying to get some damage done up here on the Bob line. Maybe kill that dog, maybe kill a Lancer. Bobs themselves are invincible, as we all know. So, wow. Unfortunately, not the kind of damage he wanted to get from that rush. Not necessarily an all-in, though. Although we do see Morphines getting rushed in here, so this may be an all-in. And if so, this is probably not going to be great. Now, where are they going? Are they trying to get a kill on that? That's a GG, yeah. So that was a very fast all-in out of oCRaM. Let's go into game two. Okay, we're in game two of this best of three from oCRaM and Percival, played out in the round of 16 of last night's Goblin Cluckfest number 4. And we had an incredibly fast game where oCRaM tried to do a little bit of a tower rush on Percival, but Percival's micro was just too good. The Bob micro was good enough to fight that off, and we got a quick early GG out of oCRaM. And now let's see what we're gonna get. Maybe we'll have another quick. Let's close this up. We don't need that, but maybe we'll get another quick one. Again, we're getting the same scouting information. The Hexen's coming across the map and saying, "Oh wait, you're doing that fast expo thing again." Percival's seeing with his dog. Okay, there's 2 vaults, so this could be another early aggression build. I do think the meta on this patch has been more of a 1 vault opening into a shrine. This is curious. We're chopping down the trees. I don't expect that's to creep this camp here. That's probably just to shorten the rush distance, which we know means there's probably a rush coming. And we got another brute, and another brute. And it was another fast expand build. And I think oCRaM maybe faces this build a lot and knows, hey, I can get some damage on you here. But again, last game, Percival's micro was just really good. He's got a sentry post going down. His build here is almost as though he knows, he's faced this enough that he knows what he's supposed to do. It's like getting Canyon Rush back in SC2. If you get Canyon Rush enough, you know, like I pull this many drones and I do this here and I'll attack this one this way. It almost feels like he knows that. Like he's got exactly 3 bobs on the Shroud Stone, and that says to me like maybe he knows he's tried this a few times. He knows the DPS of 3 overcharged bobs on a Shroud Stone is enough. Okay, so when the Buzzsaw Cannon gets up this time, different response from oCRaM. So that rush still happened, but in the last game, oCRaM tried to pressure past this into the main, do some bob damage. But in this one, oCRAM's saying, no, I'm going to instead take this brute force I've created, move back out, and maybe just keep some map control for a second. So I do like this as a better response because, of course, in the last game, that ended with a quick GG as the all-in failed. So we do have a shrine coming down from oCRAM to allow him to get into that more macro-focused game in the mid-game. I like this just being more aggressive, saying, I got the units here. You want to fight? Let's do it. I'm going to creep your camp. Okay, and then again, good micro from Percival a bit, saying I'm going to get on your Hexen then. And oh, he had the had this around, and there we go. That I like that. So again, not being able to be as damaging with the initial rush, but because Percival wanted to get up on his business, he was able to get that surround and get 2 kills on Lancer. So finally getting a little bit of payback for that early aggression build. Now another thing I want to mention about oCRAM, because I have watched and cast a number of his games, is he is a very meticulous sort of theory craft base player. If he's going this build, this sort of rush or all-in build against Percival here, I doubt it's because he's panicked or he thinks he's going to lose or he thinks that this is the best opener that he has against Vanguard, and he's probably used it and practiced it many times on the ladder or in customs against others to try and work out what the best response is. So for instance, in this case, when his initial push was unable to do the damage that he wanted, and he did not follow it up with an all-in, which he did last time, he maybe has a follow-up that he's comfortable with. He knows that that aggression is supposed to go in to some second stage mid-game, and at the moment this second stage mid-game has been a lot of map control and creeping, meaning sort of an accelerated income that augments the fact that his base was actually a little bit slower. Now here's something that's kind of cool. He is up to 11 on this base, but he went for a greater shrine out here. That's something I like to remember to do every once in a while. I think I probably copied it off of him watching him on stream. But this, what that allows you to do is it actually adds HP to this building. So if there is going to be harass on this position, it's actually tougher for them to take out your shrine. Now the drawback of that, of course, is that you might lose that shrine. Now we've got some aggression in the middle of the map, and these Lancers from Percival once again trying to get up on top of oCRAM, and maybe making a mistake because this army from oCRAM is just big enough. Now these two with their kinetic redirection and maybe some good micro might be able to get away, but no, it looks like they're getting cornered out into the back there. A dog coming in saying, "Let me help. That's my best friend. I'm man's best friend." And maybe with that kinetic redirection can get out of there. Gets a little healing cabbage. Oh, and the surround. Oh no, it's surround. Units are so slippery in this game. Gonna Again, it might just have something to do with the pathing that I'm sure they're going to keep working on. He says, fine, come get me, fiends. I'll stand in the corner. And again, good choice in micro from oCRaM. Again, this is what I mean by the type of player he is, a very cerebral player. I might have been lazy and said, fine, I'll sacrifice some fiends into you. But he said, no, I'm gonna go ahead and wow, okay, but if they wedge themselves, yeah, it's just not good for fiends to attack up against that because of their line attack. They can hit multiple fiends at a time, and since all your fiends are going to be running around behind, they're, you know, looking like derps. Ooh, slipping a few in. Ah, that's not a perfect wall. Ooh, and a shield going down from the rampart. I love that. I don't know exactly. Let's think it's like 200 increased armor. That is ridiculous. That means the damage you're dealing to that unit is cut into maybe like a quarter. I'm not 100% sure how the math works. But yeah, I think 100 armor is half damage. So my guess is a quarter or a third or something like that. These fiends trying to get some traction somewhere, doing some run-bys. Finding this base here, and yeah, get on top of it. You can DPS that down, maybe. Unfortunately, no, it looks like. So just trying to run out. There are just too many units here. And look at this, these sword boys, these lancers trying to get around behind and maybe catching those fiends with. You get one good swipe on them, you might be able to take some out. Here's some fiends on a Vulcan. That poor Vulcan doesn't know that he's a Vulcan because, yeah, you got a machine gun, bro. You can shoot those fiends. That's your job, in fact. You're a fiend machine gun dude. That's what you're there for. Alright, so again, now we see these machine guns in action. Mow down some Shadow Mastiffs. That's what they're for. That whole line is an area of damage. If you're standing in there, you're taking bullet damage. Now we got more fiends doing a run by. Saying, hey, I remember there's a base here. Maybe I can get something. Maybe I can get this machine lab. I was going to call it machine shop. That's not machine lab. Okay. But no, they get chased away another time. So lots of early pressure and aggression out of oCRaM. I think this is also, again, something that's kind of characteristic of his style. He likes to be in your face a bit, at least in the matches that I've watched. And I am a fan of his style. I do try to emulate it at times. Emulated at my MMR, which is much lower than his. Probably 300 or 400 lower than his, my guess. And these fiends, unfortunately, not getting the kind of damage they want. Ooh, those fiends getting lured in. But yeah, microed away, yeah. You just want to run back home, probably. And I hear the wings of the Spriggans. And here they come. Spriggans being added to the meta after the last patch because they got a nice buff, a real serious buff actually. They used to do 2 damage plus 2 damage to heavy. That sounds absolutely sad, but they attack 3 at times, so it's sort of like a Mutalisk. Not quite like a Muta because I think a Muta bounces or something, but they attack in a burst of 3, so that's 2 times 3 is 6. So 6 plus 6 is what they used to be. They got buffed up to 3 plus 3, or times 3 would be 9 plus 9. So that's 18 damage versus heavy. That's actually really good now. So now they're finding themselves as being a useful unit. We actually see the ground army of oCRaM coming up here as well. I thought this was just to harass, but no, the Spriggans are saying, let's come in and try and fight alongside our brutes. But these Hornets, unfortunately, are really good against Sprigs. And oCRaM is deciding that that was not actually the best aggression. Let's move back. Let's retreat back to our safe ground. And yeah, the safety of the third, it looks like. Percival coming to take this Luminite camp. Has a kind of deadly looking army right now. These Hornets are a good harass units, although... Ooh, did one go down there? It looked like it. Nano Swarm is a great healing power for mech units. And now we've got to push right up into oCRAM's base. And oCRaM's army, a lot of Spriggans, but I don't see a lot else here. A couple brutes. These Static D is going to do some work. The brutes here in the back trying to get on top of the X's, but no, that's going to be a GG out of oCRaM, and Percival taking this 2 games to 0.